What's poppin', guys? Here are 10 tips for the cook so you can start carrying your games as family. The cook is easily one of the best family members in the game, with his potential to double lock crucial doors with his padlocks and his crazy wall hacking ability. Tip number 1 is communication. This is the most important tip for playing as the cook in the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. This is true for all family members, but for Cook especially, because his ability allows him to find and highlight victims, and he really has to call out their location to his teammates, especially if he doesn't have the ability on level 3 yet, where you can upgrade his ability so that everyone can see the highlighted victims. Alright, for tip number 2, how to use the cook's ability. His ability is called Seek. It allows him to find victims when they make noise and highlight them for himself or his teammates. Once you start up his ability, the game zooms in on Cook and has a circle appear on the screen. If the circle sits still, that means he doesn't detect any noise. But if it has a static, he can hear something. You can then move the circle around with the static pointing towards the direction where the sound comes from. If you pinpoint a source of noise, the screen will zoom in. Keep it on the source for a while and it will be highlighted on your screen for a few moments. And eventually it will highlight the victim. So it's very important that you keep marking the survivors for your teammates and calling out their locations constantly, as much as you can. And this, combined with his secondary ability with padlocks on doors, makes him one of the best family members in the game. With the cook, you'll be able to place 3 padlocks on 3 different doors. Those padlocks can always be removed and placed on a different door if you have to do that. Alright, at the start of the game, right when you spawn in, you want to place your locks as fast as possible on the crucial doors of the map, as well as collecting blood on the way, so it's important that you are quick and that you have an efficient route of putting the locks and collecting blood, because if you forget to put the lock and the victims are already out of the basement, then it's too late. And with the current rushing meter, you really don't have any time to lose. If you spawn on the family house map, you will always spawn upstairs. In the middle room, there's usually a blood bucket next to you, so collect that blood bucket, head straight downstairs. On this map you want to put your locks on the main front door of the family house, as well as on the side front door, which is a little hidden, and on the back door leading to the back garden. Those are the only 3 doors that the victims can escape from this house, except for jumping out of windows. On the slaughterhouse map, you want to lock all the red doors, which are the 2 red doors leading to the facility and the generator, and the red door leading to slaughterhouse. On the slaughterhouse map, I usually don't collect any blood and I head straight for the locks. If the locks are placed and the victims have not awakened Grandpa yet and are not out of the basement yet, then I will still collect some blood. Once you placed all your locks, you can start listening in for the victims and try to mark them in the basement so your Leatherface can hunt them down. On the gas station map, you will spawn in the gas station, so you want to turn around and immediately lock the door leading outside of the gas station and then make your way to the 2 gates leading to the generator and lock those as well. This way you have the whole area completely locked down, and if a Connie tries to rush that side, she has to unlock 4 locks, which makes rushing for her very hard. Alternatively, you could leave the exit door open and only lock the 2 gates and put your 3rd lock on one of the gates leading towards the battery, but this way you would have to check your locks more often and really make sure no one enters the generator area. Once all the doors are secured, you can check your locks from all over the map with family sense, even through walls. That means you don't have to walk to every door and check it by yourself. You can just stay in one place and use your family sense ability. All locks will be highlighted in the family sense ability, and if one lock is missing, then you know it has been broken and you gotta check the door immediately. If any crucial door gets unlocked that you didn't put a padlock on before, then you can relock the door or gate by relocating one of your locks. So you can take a lock from a door that you previously locked and put it somewhere else. So let's say one victim escapes through the battery exit. You can then take a lock from one of your locked doors and put it on the battery exit gate. This way they would have to unlock the door again and make it that much harder for the victims to escape. And if you don't want to miss any news and guides on the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, go ahead and subscribe to my channel. I'd really appreciate that. Right, next tip is gonna be level up your ability to level 3. This tip is very important. If you level up your Seek ability to level 3, then you choose all family see noise. So this is the strongest upgrade for his ability, and with this ability, all family members will be able to see the victims that you highlight, which essentially is a wall hack, and you can mark them over and over again if they keep moving. So me personally, I go to the left on level 1, to the middle on level 2, and then to the right on level 3. Which gives me reduced ability drain by 30%, victim detection range increased by 20%, and the all family see noise at level 3. So once you're in the mid game, you really want to protect Grandpa as well as protecting the objectives and your locks at the same time. It's all dependent on the map as well as which objectives are already in danger. For example, if they already opened the fuse box or opened a pressure valve once or twice, it's your job to protect that area because you can be effective from a distance. You're a support character and you're there to support and protect the objectives, and that's what you really excel in. You can stand in front of the fuse box and check all your logs with family sense, as well as mark survivors from a distance, and in the best case scenario even protect grandpa from getting stabbed at the same time. And this is really effective if you're on the gas station map, for example, and if the fuse box and grandpa spawn together in the big house, you could easily stay in the house, protect the fuse box, protect grandpa, protect your logs, and on top of all that, mark the survivors for your family members. This way you multiply your effectiveness and your support, and you can really carry the game. Alright, what are your best tips for the cook that I missed? Let me know in the comments down below. Alright, next tip, don't waste your time chasing survivors for too long. As the cook you naturally have really low endurance and you're really not a chase character. You can't follow through any cracks or crawl spaces, you run out of breath super fast, but you do a decent amount of damage. If a survivor is close to you, of course you can go ahead and smack them a couple of times, and if they run away, don't bother chasing them too much. Just call out to your teammates where they are and where they're going, and go back to revealing them, feeding grandpa, and protecting the objectives. Alright, and for the last tip, there are a couple of builds you can use with cook, leading into his strengths or his weaknesses. If you want to know which cook build I am using right now, and in my opinion this is the best build, you can check out my video here, I'm gonna link it at the top. The build I am using makes his logs stronger, makes his move speed faster, and improves his endurance. With this build I'll be able to chase a little bit more and just move efficiently around the map with my increased movement speed. Another popular build is the blood harvesting build, and with that build you'll be able to get a lot more blood from the blood buckets, as well as increase your blood vial capacity. So if you want to focus more on feeding grandpa to a high level very fast, you should go with that build. Alright, the blood build would look something like this, with Universal Donor, Blood Banker and Siphon. Universal Donor and Blood Banker are the most two important perks of this build. For Siphon, you could as well replace it with the perk Scout, which is a really strong perk on every character. This increases the movement speed by 15% and reduces the damage by 10%. It's really strong on Cook because he's such a slow character. You can run around collecting blood super fast. Scout is a random perk for the cook, so you would have to re-roll a couple of times. And this is the skill tree if you want to copy the build. Of course you can also do a mix of both with just the switching of one or two perks, where you have the benefits of the movement speed as well as some blood harvesting. Thanks so much for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, you know what to do, smash that like button. And I'll see you guys in the next one, peace.
Crash and learn, make mistakes.